YouTube, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Zay. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys the best settings you guys could possibly be using right now for Warzone, multiplayer, and ranked in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Season 5. Let's get straight into it. Now, I know you guys have been looking for some settings you guys could possibly be using right now, being by the fact that Call of Duty has dropped us with some new movement settings and mechanics in Season 5. And of course, they're preparing us for what's to come in the new Modern Warfare 3 to come later on this year in November. Now, if you guys want to know what you guys are possibly using right now to prepare yourself for that, I'm going to get straight into that for you guys today in this video. But before we do get into that, if you guys happen to like this video, go ahead and smash the like button for me, show some love, and also support the channel by subscribing if you are new. It's been your boy Zay. Let's hop straight into this. Okay, guys, so today, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys the best settings you guys could possibly be using right now in Season 5 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Let's hop straight into this for you guys, okay? Now, I know a lot of you guys have been trying to figure out what's the best settings to use, being the fact that there's new movements currently out in Season 5 of Modern Warfare 2. But this is only because of the fact that they're preparing us for Modern Warfare 3 to drop later on this year. So if you want to know if you can how to take full control of using this new movement and be the best you can be at playing this game right now and prepare for Modern Warfare 3, let's get straight into these settings for you guys, all right? So first things first, we're going to go into controller settings. As you guys know, the controller settings is a key thing to use when it comes to playing these type of games, especially Call of Duty, because you want to be able to be as good as possible with controller, whether you're on keyboard and mouse or if you're actually on console like a PS5 or Xbox. So first things first, we're going to go down to make sure that your controller vibration. Now, if you're on mouse and keyboard, I'm not exactly entirely sure how this works. I'm not sure if it's a vibration or not. I don't think there is. But for controller, guys, make sure your vibration is completely turned off. We do not need that on at all because it'll interfere with you shooting your gun and handling your gun as best as possible throughout the gameplay while you're playing the game, okay? We're going to go down to aiming horizontal stick sensitivity. Now, the reason why you guys want to make sure this is a set to a preset thing and make sure you're comfortable using your sensitivity, whether that's horizontal or vertical. Make sure you're as comfortable as possible using your specific sensitivity settings. Now, the reason why I say this is because it plays a really major role in how you play the game, how you move around in the game, and how fast you can aim in and out and lock in on people such as enemies in your gameplay. All right. So when I go down to aiming, my sensitivity typically stays. I typically like to keep my horizontal stick sensitivity higher than my vertical, or keep them the exact same. So right now I'm playing on a 5.5. I typically stay around between the ranges of 4 and 6. So my horizontal will go all the way up to 6, and my vertical will either go as low as 4. But try to keep them at least 1 point apart. So if you keep your horizontal at 6, make sure your vertical stays at 5. If you keep your horizontal at 5, put your vertical at 4. Keep them 1 by 1, okay? And that's as simple as that. You feel what I'm saying? It's going to help you. You're going to see why in just a moment. With that being said, as you're playing around with those stick sensitivities, the key thing that's going to help with that as well when playing multiplayer is going to be your ADS sensitivity multiplier. All right. Now, the reason why I say this is because, a side note, basically what this does is help customize the stick sensitivity while aiming down your sight. So when you're locking down your gun and you're aiming at players, this is going to help you best control how fast you're moving side to side, up and down when you're locked in on an enemy player. All right. So typically I like to keep this no lower than 0.70. Do never go lower than 0.70, and the max I go up to is a 0.85. Now, unless you're sniping, that is the only reason why you will go above a 0.85 to a 0.90 or a 1.0 and above. Sniping, this helps when you're quick scoping, you know what I'm saying? You want to aim in and be able to drag scope while you're still aimed in. That is the only time you will bring this higher than a 0.85. All right, so as you guys can see on the screen now, I have mine set to a 0.70. This helps me. I feel comfortable here, but like I said, play around with it. Go into a private game, play around with this setting, see which best works for you. All right, now keep in mind that number. Remember that number in your head, because you also have to change something as well in advanced settings that also relates to this setting as well. Moving on to the gameplay settings, we're gonna go down right here to where it says interact/reload behavior. Now, guys, I said this in previous videos before, make sure you have this set to prioritize interact. Now, this helps when you're playing multiplayer, and also helps when you're playing Warzone as well, because like I said, when it comes to Warzone, you want to be able to pick up shield and also be able to reload, but 2 different ways. You know what I'm saying? If you prioritize interact, this means like if you're in Warzone and you're picking up things off the floor and you also have to reload, it'll make you pick up the stuff off the floor first before you go ahead and reload. So if you got places you want to pick up real quick or swap a gun real quick off the floor, it'll lock in on that weapon on the floor first before you go ahead and reload. Now in multiplayer, it's the same thing. If you throw like a ammunition box on the ground and you want to interact with that before you have to reload because you have no ammo, it's gonna make you interact with the ammunition box. Then it's gonna make you reload because it's prioritizing the interact button versus the reload button. Got me? Make sure that's, you know what I'm saying, loud and clear. And of course, last but not least, when we go down here at the bottom, just below that, we have armor plates. People who are playing Warzone, you know what I'm saying, or you know, if you're playing Vondel or Sheikah Island, armor plate behavior, make sure this is set to apply all. If you have it set to apply one, bruh, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot difficult for you to be able to play that as fast, and you want to always stay on guard. And you're always in and out of gunfights, especially on the smaller maps. You want to be able to apply all plates at a quick advantage. So keep this apply all on, just to help you and benefit you in every single way when playing on Warzone maps. With that being said, guys, we're going to go over to advanced, you know what I'm saying, go over to the advanced settings. We're going to look at the aim assist. Now, make sure your target aim assist is always set to on. People who play with this off is insane. Obviously, if you're on PC, keyboard and mouse, you don't have target aim assist. And trust me, I know how it feels. I played on it and I can't do it. I don't know how you guys do it. Kudos to you guys, but hey, I can't. That's just me. A lot of times people don't realize that the aim assist type plays a major role in how you play this game, and it goes hand in hand with aim response curve as well. So you know what I'm saying, when you're playing the game, you're gonna feel like if you just started playing the game, you're brand new trying to figure out what's the best settings for your aim. I'm gonna give it to you right now in aim assist type. Now, for my people who are just hopping onto controller or just hopping into the game in general and trying to figure out what's best, you know what I'm saying, focusing is for you, my guys. All right, my ladies and gentlemen, focusing is for you. Put focusing on, and what this does, it says strong aim slowdown that also kicks when narrowly missing target. Best for players new to analog aiming. If you are new to being on controller, new to playing with these sticks, man, put this on. I guarantee you'll benefit from it. It'll help you lock in on your targets a lot easier, okay? A lot easier than playing on regular default. Now, for my people who are, you know, who are used to playing on a controller, you know what I'm saying, and are really good with the controller already, play on precision. You feel what I'm saying? Precision is gonna help you and benefit you in the best way because listen to what it says. Strong aim slowdown that only kicks when aiming closer to targets. Best for accurate players. Now, if you've been playing this for a while, like me, you know what I'm saying, and you guys seen, if you guys are watching my channel, you guys seen I'm pretty accurate when it comes to using these guns. I usually typically play on precision. Sometimes I switch back to focusing when I haven't played Call of Duty in a minute and I have to come back and hop back on to get back to the controller. You know what I'm saying? So put on precision. It's going to help you with your accuracy, lock on a lot easier and a lot quicker. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, so all my veteran players, play on precision. For my newbies who are hopping on, play on focusing. It benefits you. Next, we're going to go down to one that's going to play hand in hand with aim assist type that you guys need to make sure you have it set as well. Now, typically, a lot of people, when you first load up the game, is going to see set to standard. We don't want it to be set to standard. We want it to go down to dynamic. Now, what dynamic is going to do is going to reverse S curve mapping for fine aim rate control. Now, what this means, if you guys ever notice when you're playing on standard, when you first load up the game and start playing a regular game, you'll feel your controller, you'll feel the analog only lock in on vertical and horizontal. Your right analog, when you want to look left and right, up and down, you see it only feels, it's only able to lock in on the y-axis and the x-axis. But if you change to dynamic, you can also use the S curve. Now what this S curve is pretty much be able to look horizontal, vertical, and diagonal in both directions. Make you be able to use full capacity of your analog stick, allowing you to be able to lock on and control your movement, your slide movement, your ADS movement, everything all at once. So I'm telling you, put dynamic on. Is going to help benefit you in every single way possible. Now, when we go down to ADS sensitivity multiplier, this is the thing I was telling you guys back from the regular controller settings. Change this. This is for your ADS. Make this match up with the number that you had before. Remember, I had mine to 0.70. Make sure this right here, this multiplier focus, is locked on to the same number that it was on the other setting. I have mine at 0.70. I'm putting this at 0.70 as well. It's also going to play into your aim down sight. You know what I'm saying? It applies to help you focus better on steadying your aim. So when you're locking down on the target, it'll help lock in a lot faster and help you stay focused and locked in onto that enemy. With that being said, guys, we're going to go straight down to input deadlines. Now, guys, typically I had to change mine recently because my controller started acting up. So I had to move things a little bit differently. So I'm hoping you guys figure the same thing out for yourself. Now, the best way to figure out which works best for you guys is to go into a private match and pretty much just play along with these settings right here, these input dead zones. and just see what feels right for you in your controller, depending on what type of controller you're using, whether that's PlayStation or if you're using an Xbox controller, if you're using a Scuff controller, Elite controller, whatever the case may be. Play along with these settings and just see which best works for you. Now, I'm gonna give you guys the ones I typically use because I feel like these are best for me right now. You guys can try these out for yourself as well, and let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. All right, so first things first, left stick min, we have 0.04. Same thing as right stick mig. We have it matched up. Make sure everything is matched up to each other. So right and left has to be matched up on all three of these categories, right? So we're gonna go down to left stick max and left and right stick max, which are both set to a 0.85. And then we're gonna go down to left trigger and right trigger, which are both set to a 0.03. Now, for all my people who don't have Scuff controllers and you feel like you have a Scuff controller, that's what the right and left trigger dead zones are for. It makes it so that a simple tap of those triggers will be as easy as a click of a mouse key. All right, simple as that. That's all that's for. Right stick and max stick, min and max. It just basically means how far you can move your analog sticks without, any reaction to the controller. Okay, all right. Okay, guys, so next thing we're gonna go over to is the graphics. Now, for those of you who want to have the best graphics and have your game looking as crispy as you possibly can get it, we're going to go straight over to the graphic settings, and we're going to go straight down, starting with post-processing effects. Now, when you first get the game, for all my newbies out there, you will notice that world motion blur and weapon motion blur are turned on. Now, these are for graphic settings, of course, but if you want to have the best gameplay while also having some decent looking graphics, turn both of these off. I promise you, it will help you in every single way. Turn them off, and that way, when you're using your gun and run around the map, and you're looking side to side, it doesn't look like a straight mesh. You can still see the whole map clear, and enemies aren't passing by you because you have these turned on, okay? Now, recently, I also did a change to my film grain. I brought it up to a 0.80 just for a crispier look. Turn this up to 0.80, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to look better, and it's going to play also into Fidelity FX cast. Make sure this is turned on, and the strength is turned up to 90 as well. Trust me, when you get into these games, especially these brighter, beautiful looking maps, you're going to see it looks a lot crispy, a lot brighter, and it's going to basically help you to be able to pinpoint enemies and lock in enemies and see enemies at a furthest because it's so much more clearer. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to go straight after that down to view, where it says field of view. Make sure this is set all the way to 120 max, playing between 115 and 120. You guys can try them out. See which best works for you. I typically like to keep it at 120 just because it helps me to see, and it's best for me because I can see everything on my screen clear as day. All right, now make sure your ADS field of view is unaffected. Do not put it as independent. I'm telling you, you will regret it. I mean, unless you're a maniac and you like to play independent. I mean, where it looks completely different. Trust me, play unaffected. That way you're zoomed out of your map with your gun. And it's going to basically make it feel like you have 0 to no recoil when you're shooting because the recoil is not being seen versus if you had independent on where the gun is more close to your face and you're seeing and feeling all that recoil. That's going to do it for the graphics. We're going to hop straight into the next one, which is going to be audio. Okay, let's get it. Now, first things first, if you guys come into audio, you're going to see the first thing we see is volume. Typically, when you first load up the game, this is going to be set to a default at headphones. Okay, let's change this headphones to headphone bass boost. Now, with headphones bass boost, trust me, guys, you're going to be able to hear a lot more deeper noises as far as footsteps, as far as comms, as far as if you're playing with proximity chat on, you hear but a further distance. Everything with headphone bass boost is going to be turned up. It's going to amplify everything for you in your headphones. Okay, make sure your master volume is set to at least 80 or above. Okay, and we're going to go to show more, and here's where you really need to set things up. Now you see gameplay music volume, I have turned it all the way down. It's unnecessary. You don't need it unless you like listening to music. I don't really care for it, so I turn it all the way off. Dialogue volume turned all the way down unless you want subtitles popping up on your screen of the characters just chatting in game. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. It's unnecessary as well. Effects volume is what you should have turned all the way to max, 100% max. Okay. Voice chat volume I turned up to 50. You don't really need to hear people too much, but if you want to hear them, you can turn it up to max as well. I don't recommend it, so I left that at 50. Cinematic music volume all the way down. Again, we don't need the music. And the word track, I don't know why I have it at 100, but it should be down as well. I mean, I don't need it, but so we're gonna have to turn that down. We don't need it. We don't really care for it. A lot of people like to play in proximity chat, especially on Warzone, since they just introduced that. You know what I'm saying? In Warzone 2, obviously, it's proximity chat, and you can talk to people. Make sure, if you do want to be involved in that, turn voice chat on. Even if you're in multiplayer, you want to talk to people in game chat, turn this on. We need to have this on at all times so you guys be able to talk to players in game chat. I made a mistake of turning it off, and it just messed everything up, and I had to figure out what was wrong with it. Had to go through a bunch of stuff just to figure it out. But yeah, make sure this is turned all the way on. Now, like I said, if you guys do want to play in proximity chat and you guys want to be involved in that as well, I typically have mine turned off because when I do play Warzone, I don't like people finding me because I'm talking, or I'm talking to one of my boys who are on, cross-gen platforms. I'm talking to them in game chat, and then the enemy can hear me at a distance. You know, I don't like that, so I turn it off. I don't be involved in that. You guys can go ahead and turn it off if you want to enjoy that. That's on you, completely up to you. Hope you guys have fun with that. It is pretty hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. I did have some great moments when it was pretty hilarious, and I found some people because they were talking in game chat, and I was talking in game chat as well. Then we're gonna go down to we're gonna scroll down to over here to accessibilities where it says mono audio. We're gonna make sure this is turned off, okay? And let me tell you why, right? If you guys read, it says mono, off and on. Off, audio is split between left and right audio channels to provide directional sound. Now what this means, right? If you guys are like me and you guys have some great headphones, shout out to Astro, I have Astro 850s. What this basically does is it amplifies the sound coming from left and right, right? It splits the sound. So if a player in game is coming from your left, you're going to hear it in the left headphone only. If a player in game is coming from the right, you're going to hear it in your right earphone only, all right? And this is only because you have it turned off. Now, if you were to turn this on, what this does is it takes both left and right side and mashes it together. It mashes it together so it sounds like one sound, so there's no directional to it. You want to make sure you have a directional just so you can be able to work with the game and pretty much play your best and be able to pinpoint where enemies are coming from towards you and how they're attacking you and where they're attacking you from. Feel what I'm saying? That is why it's best to turn this off. Alright guys, it's going to do it here for Season 5, guys, of Modern Warfare 3. You guys can let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Leave a like for your boy to show some love. Also, if you guys happen to be new to my channel, do me a huge favor and drop a sub down below. We're still on the road to 1K, guys. We are like less than 50 subs away. So any support helps on this channel today. Alright guys, appreciate you guys for stopping by. It's been your boy Zay, and I'm out. Peace.